I woke up one morning to the sound of a damn backhoe and I wish I was kidding. Imagine standing there, coffee still in hand, robe flapping in the breeze, staring at two plus-size middle-aged women in pink visors, giggling while a contractor rips through your backyard. I yelled, "What the hell is going on?" And Karen, one let's call her Brenda, just waved and shouted, "Don't worry, it's gonna be saltwater." Like that was supposed to calm me down. Alright, back up. I'm Jake, I live in a quiet cul-de-sac in Arizona, retired Air Force, and I'm the kind of guy who minds his own business unless someone decides to put a chlorinated crater on my land. Been living in this house for 5 years, had it surveyed twice, once when I bought it, and again when I installed my shed and built the cedar fence. My neighbors to the right are great bake cookies at Christmas, mow their own damn lawn. But to the left, we have the Karen sisters. Brenda and Sheila. Big hair, bigger egos, and a blinding sense of entitlement. It started with them building a 6-foot fountain without permits. Then they tried to sue the HOA when squirrels chewed through their Halloween inflatables. But nothing prepared me for what happened when I came back from a weekend fishing trip and saw half my yard dug up with rebar sticking out like a skeleton. I walked over, trying to stay calm, dog Boomer following behind, ears twitching from the chaos. "Hey Brenda," I said, "why's your pool pit extending 5 feet over my property line?" Brenda didn't even look embarrassed. "Oh hon, the original blueprints were confusing. We figured you wouldn't mind." Sheila chimed in like an echo, "You barely use that side anyway." So now they've decided what part of my property I use. I called the county, asked for the most recent satellite overlay and property line assessment. Guess what? That monstrosity was 7 feet into my yard. And they'd already poured the foundation framing. I confronted them with the documents, printed to scale, highlighted in red. Brenda squinted at it like it was in Greek and said, "Well, it's already dug now." That's when I knew logic wasn't gonna work with these two. I needed a plan. I mentioned it to Daryl, my buddy down at the VFW, who happens to be a retired city inspector. He laughed so hard he snorted beer through his nose, then said, "You know cement's cheaper than litigation, right?" I laughed too, but then I stopped laughing, because he had a point. That week, I started laying the groundwork. Quietly. Called a concrete contractor I knew from a couple driveway jobs. Sent him the property lines and photos. We scheduled the pour for early Monday morning before the Karens were even out of their matching pastel pajamas. Meanwhile, I filed a notice of encroachment with the city and got it notarized. Just in case they tried to spin it. Sunday night, I barely slept, part nerves, part excitement. Boomer knew something was up. At 6:45 a.m. sharp, the cement truck rolled in, and with surgical precision, my crew filled every inch of my 7-foot strip with solid, glorious, unmovable concrete. Right through their steel frame, their half-buried lounge ledge, even one of their fancy LED pool lights. At 7:12 a.m., I heard it. Brenda's voice. High-pitched. Horrified. "What the hell did you do?" I sipped my coffee from the porch, looked over, and said real calm, "Oh, don't worry, it's just a retaining wall. For my property." Sheila looked like she was about to faint. "Brenda?" She threatened to call the cops. They did call the cops. Cops came, took one look at the property lines and the signed documents I had printed in a folder labeled Karen Defense, and literally said, "Ma'am, he's within his rights." I almost kissed that officer. That wasn't the end of it though. Karen escalation protocol means they filed a complaint with the city claiming I damaged their recreational investment. I countered by hiring a surveyor to measure every inch, and then I invoiced them. Full itemized bill, cement, labor, equipment rental, and inconvenience fee totaling $8,267.45. Sent it certified mail. They tried to ignore it. Bad move. 2 weeks later, I sent notice of intent to sue in small claims. Guess who finally showed up at my door looking a whole lot less smug? Brenda stood there in flip-flops, holding a checkbook like it weighed 100 pounds. Can we, settle this without lawyers? I smiled. Of course, I said. Just add 10% interest. For the stress. She almost cried. And you know what? They filled in the rest of the pit with topsoil and fake grass. Haven't spoken to me since. Which is honestly the best part. Sometimes you gotta stand your ground literally when folks think kindness equals weakness. I kept it legal, clean, and unforgettable. You mess with a veteran's land, you better read the fine print. Anyway, that's my story. Got any crazy neighbor drama like that? Drop it in the comments. I need to know I'm not the only one.